Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data. And occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this demo for the annual home budget. This is one of the basic range spreadsheets. Let's have a look first and foremost how to set it up. So on the intro and setup tab, as you can see here, there are only two items you need to fill in. These will be blank. Just select the month which you want to start with. The spreadsheet's valid for a year, so you can have it as a financial year by selecting the month you want to start, or a calendar year by just selecting January and then putting in the year 2019. So obviously next year it'll be 2020 and so on and so forth. If you haven't put in one of the two, you'll see there's a red cross. Once you put in the year and a valid month, it'll start on that month. Let's move along. So you want to keep a blank copy of the spreadsheet and then just use a new one each year. First and foremost, budgets. Here are your incomes, so you can categorize your incomes, put in a name over here, whatever it is that you want to put in. So if you want to put in, say, for argument's sake, a second salary or whatever the case might be, you see there it says yes, the name's all right because you haven't duplicated it, but you're missing values. So then what you want to do is put in the value. So the way this works, you're not going to see it on this sheet particularly, but if you put in a value at the beginning, let's just say you put in £500, that will take £500 per month throughout. So you don't have to put 500, 500, 500. It's going to assume that this 500 will continue. If you want the 500 to stop, so the 500 say only for January, February, March, in April it disappears, then just put a 0 in April, and then it'll take 500, 500, 500, 0, 0, 0, 0, and so on. So you can adjust how it goes up. So every time you put in a value, it will change that value, and it'll continue with the latest value that you put in until the end of the year. If you're confused by that or you're not quite sure what it's doing, you can just put in all the values and that will just make sure that it does it properly. But you only need to put that value in should it change. So let's just take that out for now because we haven't made any item. So you can categorize your income. You can do exactly the same with your expense. So for argument's sake here, that car will be £100, £100, £100, £100 each month until August, and it'll jump up to 600 in August. Let's just say you're getting a car service or something, and then it'll jump back down to 100 and continue with 100. So that's how you can put these figures in. I didn't want you to have to put all the figures in if they're all the same, so if you just put in once, it'll take that per month throughout the year. As you can see already, it's checking to see are you over a budget. So this month we're over budget, the rest of the month we're under budget, so that's all right. Then once you set that up, you can leave that as it is and you can crack on with your spreadsheet. So once you set this up at the beginning of the year, and unless it changes, you can actually leave it as it is. Then your actual expenses and income, very simple, just a few columns. Put in the date when the expense happens, put in a short description, then select the category, which one it was salary, was it rent, was it utilities, food, so on and so forth. Depending on what you select, if you select an expense, put in an expense amount. If you select an income, put in the income amount. this column here will show you if it thinks you've made a mistake. So if you put in something like food and you put it as a credit, it'll show up a little icon here just to say, are you sure that's right? Because sometimes you might have to put in a credit because you're crediting something or whatever the case might be. But most times you'll be putting in as expense as an expense and an income as an income. And once you've done that, that's it. Your report, you do this throughout the year, and your report will automatically update. So here you've got your income budget versus your actual income. The budgets are all there already, but the actual income will fill in as and when they happen. There you can see that expense went up that month because of that car expense. Here you've got your overall for the year. You can scroll down, you can see your income categories as to what you budgeted, what the balance is, how much of the budget you got left, what percentage of the budget you spent on income and expenses. And then if you scroll down a bit further, you can see your monthly figure budgets. You can see your income expense each month as they happen compared to what you budgeted them at. And if you scroll down further, you can actually see a breakdown of each of the different categories of your expense budget and income budget. So you can see exactly here. If you hover over there, it says food. You've spent 140, whereas you've actually got a budget of 400. So you can see immediately there which categories are going over budget, which categories are going under budget. And you've got that each month of the year. So those will obviously complete as you go along. So all of that report is all automated. What you can do here on the first two graphs, i.e. this one and the one below, you can filter them. So if you say, well, I don't want to see everything, I just want to see, for argument's sake, rent, then you can see your rent for those periods, so it'll filter it. But if you want to see everything, you can just go back and select all. So that's it. You can come back and add more items. Obviously, as you go along, you can check the report and come back again, add them throughout the year. Just make sure that obviously everything you add is within the dates that you've pre-selected. And you can come back and change your budget throughout if you want to. It'll just adjust everything that you've done. And I think that's all you need to know. So thank you very much for watching this demo, and I wish you all the best with this annual home budget. Thank you. Bye-bye.